All right, Knicks fans, tap in because this one shouldn't have been this close. The Knicks hold off the Atlanta Hawks 128 to 125. And yeah, it's a win, but it comes with some real questions. Jalen Brunson gave us 34. Cat went crazy with 36 and 16. We owned the glass all night, 56 to 38, but yet somehow we're still sweating in the final moments. With Deuce McBride and Josh Hart out, the bench has to step up. And tonight it was Kevin McCullar Jr. He played some real minutes and did a little bit of everything tonight. So the question becomes, is that enough? Can Kolek and Clarkson carry this bench moving forward? We break it all down. We're getting into a bigger NBA conversation that nobody wants to avoid. Is it finally time to ask if LeBron should think about retirement? This is Nixon-ish. This is the Postgame Live. Let's talk about it. Who's going to do it?
The intro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. I'm turning hoes to housewives, I'm cleaning the ratchet up. Do it all from boom bap to melody rap. If they gon' put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to Reset. Fuck LeBron. Fuck everybody on LeBron. When we see you in the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's time to talk that Nixon-ish. I'm your boy, the infamous one, Knickerbocker Ave. Joined, as always, by your favorite panel here on YouTube, the fastest growing YouTube channel for Knicks content in YouTube, currently speaking, on the road to 1,000, by the way. I'm joined by the first lady of Nixon-ish. I don't know which angle I'm going. Mrs. Knicks. And, of course, you know what
I'm a spark plug.
The one and only Spark Plug himself, the host of Nixon-ish Tea Time. Shout out to Fraz. Shout out to Kev, wherever you guys are. We missing you, brothers. The Knicks took care of business tonight in Atlanta. Of course, as Tea Time alluded to, it got closer than it needed to be. But be sure to be hitting that like, that comment, that subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the notification button on right there, the little bell right there. Make sure that you're clicking on that so that way you don't miss anytime Nixon-ish goes live, any new content, anything that we have going on. Initial thoughts of tonight's game, if you will, Mrs. Knicks, as the New York Knicks take care of the Atlanta Hawks 128 to 125. Your initial thoughts as you're on the road.
So what up, y'all? I'm actually on the road. I'm in New Orleans for Monday's game, but I'm here early. So that's why I'm out and about, of course. I'm too old for this shit. The Knicks should not have been this close. We should have handled business. We were up 17-18, I forget. And we allowed them to come back for absolutely no reason. No reason. But I take the dub, take it as a learning experience. It was great to see guys step up when their number was called. You know, we say we have a mini JB with Tyler, and I think mini Josh has poked his head out. Pause. He did exactly what we needed him to do tonight. Rebounding, defense, hitting threes the way Josh would. It was great to see from someone who didn't get a lot of minutes last season or this season up until tonight. And the fact that he was put in at the end for defense instead of JB says a lot. I think, you know, that says that coach trusts him. And that's great to see. I mean, I hate to say it, but Tibbs would have never. Never.
Yeah, that's really true though. I don't, as much as I don't want to say it, that's actual factual. Before I get to my initial thoughts, little housekeeping. Mike was good, my guy. I mean, Darlene is in the building as always. You feel me? Shout out to everybody in the comments, even the haters. We see you. You know what I mean? And we appreciate you being here, you haters. You feel me? But you know, as I'm getting up there in age as well, you feel me? Sometimes it be hard to stay up for some of these games. And tonight was one of those nights. I was in and out of sleep all night, especially when we took an 18-point lead. I got relaxed. It was 19 or 18, I can't remember. But I got relaxed. I started to doze off. But like I was telling before I was telling the panel members before we got on the show, that fourth quarter woke me up like smelling salts. There was no way, there's no reason why we should have been this close in this game. Like I said in the beginning, we dominated them on the balls, and in most statistical categories, we dominated. But yet still the game was close. 3-point shooting, you got people who were struggling shooting before tonight, having career games from 3-point line. It's nasty work. We were struggling to get back in transition. There was a lot of things that we were doing wrong in the second half, most namely the fourth quarter. And one of the things was, Cat's refusal to step out on the kid. What's the kid name? I don't want to. The guy Cat was guarding on that.
Okongu, I think it's.
Yeah, something like that. I can't pronounce.
Onika Okongu.
Yeah, y'all know I'm horrible with pronouncing names. So yeah, that guy. How many times you got to see him hit a three before you go, maybe I shouldn't creep into the lane?
Just a pad.
And stay with this guy just a little bit. But other than that, Cat played an amazing game. What he had, 36 and 16. He was definitely taking advantage of being the biggest guy on the court, pause, which is something that I don't think he did a lot last year. A lot of times last year he let smaller defenders off the hook by just chucking up a lot of threes and not getting to the cup and punishing the mismatch.
And may I interject 1 second? Get into the cup smartly. He was not hooking that arm today, and he was getting calls.
Yeah, and that goes with him. They said it during the game that he took accountability when it came to his offensive fouls, and you saw showing proof tonight that he's if he put his mind to it, he could stop doing it. You feel me? Like, it's a very dumb habit to have, and look at the tangible results when you don't do that dumb shit. You know what I mean? But Kevin McCullar Jr. tonight was phenomenal. Revelation. Shout out to my guy, Kev, right? Because I remember when we got Kevin McCullar Jr. and he was sitting here, if he could stay healthy, if he could just get healthy, that kid could really help us. He could hoop. And I'm like, Kev, I don't know. Who the fuck is that guy? You feel me? But Kev was adamant on how good this kid could be. And if this was a sign of who he is as a basketball player, like Mrs. Nick said, a mini Josh Hart, that's fire. Because I really didn't have much expectations. Clearly Mike Brown did. Clearly he played his heart out. And if he gives that kind of hustle every night, it's going to be something special. I'm going to land the plane there. Knickerbocker Ave, talk to me.
Well, the Knicks, they pretty much outmatched Atlanta on almost every, in terms of the eye test. If you were watching the game, you saw that Mitch and Cat were just dominating the boards. Kevin McCullar Jr. doing what he, showing us that he can actually fill in the the role that that Josh Hart left behind. Now that he's down with an injury, he's hustling, he's defending, and he's rebounding, and that's just crazy. And people slept a lot on his offensive game because you didn't get to see it very often. I mean, the most of the time you did see it was either in Westchester or in garbage minutes. And I mean, how often were we playing garbage minutes? Because you're playing under Tibbs, you're trying to win the game by 35 every night, no matter who you were playing. But to see him get some quality minutes with the starting rotation, be a key contributor, that's just next man up mentality. But I do have to say this one thing. It's been a long time since we New York fans, and Tea Time, you got to forgive me about this one for a minute, but it's been a while since we've heard in reference to a New York sports figure as El Capitan, because the captain took care of business in that fourth quarter. First, he had 11 in the first, but he showed you why he is the Eastern Conference Player of the Week again, probably the Eastern Conference Player of the Month again, and should be in definite consideration for MVP candidacy. I know that a lot of people have him as probably third or fourth behind Jokic and SGA and Luka, but he's making an insane argument at this point in juncture for him to be considered beyond an all-star, at least in the top three candidacy for MVP.
And you also forgot to mention reigning clutch player of the year. Boom, boom, boom.
The reigning clutch player of the year.
So
Jalen Brunson, the captain.
But that was one of the parts about the game too. Like as the game, got close, and JB was on the bench. All this shit about the change once the captain get back in. That's literally what was my thought process. All right, this shit is cute now. When the cap get back in, we're gonna shut all that shit down, and that kind of what happened. JB that still was kind of worrisome, but I don't understand how JB didn't see that he was sitting on his right hand and waiting for him to dribble the ball to the right. Because that's the side of the court that JB likes to do, that step back three. And if you watch tape, in those moments, JB is gonna rock you to sleep. Then he's gonna hit that step back going to his right. And Alexander Walker, I think that's his name. He was sitting on that right hand. Pause. That's crazy. But other than that, the Cap did what he did. Like it was a few plays, where Cap come in and do what he do. We need buckets. He get buckets. Plain and simple. But question is this: the Knicks led for most of the night, but Atlanta still made it uncomfortable. What specifically broke down in those final minutes in the fourth quarter? Knickerbocker Ave, since Mrs. Nick started the show.
They started to get lax on really on cleaning up the glass, and they were just getting lax on defense altogether. I know that we won the battle in terms of points in the paint. We definitely won that battle, but in that fourth quarter, they had a free lane. And Trae Young tried to push the issue. He really wasn't much of a factor tonight. But the Knicks should have won the battle of the points in the paint by a larger margin, because they got lax, they got flat-footed, and too many turnovers. There was just way too many turnovers in that fourth quarter for me. I think I counted about 5 key turnovers in that fourth quarter alone that landed. I think for like 12 points, just off of turnovers. And so Atlanta took advantage. I mean, Atlanta may not be on our level, but you still can't sleep on them. I mean, they still have enough talent to make some noise in the East.
They still are an NBA team. You really can't sleep on anybody in the league, no matter what their record is, because who was getting smoked tonight? The Timberwolves, I think, was getting smoked by the Brooklyn Nets last time I checked. This goes to show that you can't really sleep on anybody. But sis, same question.
Did Utah beat the Pistons a little while ago or something like that?
I think they were beating the Spurs too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like last time I checked, it was beating the Spurs. I don't know who won, but they were by a considerable margin last time I checked. But yeah, that goes to the point. Sis, same question.
I think it was a lack of defense. I think we we weren't staying with our man at the end of the game. Well, second half really, and just taking poor shots, or let me not say taking poor shots, missing shots that even would have went in normally. JB missed a few. Tyler went into the paint and he he missed badly. I think it was just poor execution and lack of defense. I mean, when teams make a run, it kind of kills the morale of the other team, and I think that's what it did. Luckily, we had enough in our tank to pull out the win. I mean, this Knicks team is really resilient, and I say it every time we have close games. They find a way to win, and I love that about this team. I'm about to head out, y'all. Though we just pulled up to where we're going, but let me say this: Knicks fans need to stop giving to Trae Young, because he's ass. He's not on JB's level. He's not on no one's level on this Knicks team. So we need to stop with the fuck Trae Young. Yes, that's how we feel, but we're the only ones keeping his ass relevant because he's a bum. You muted, T-Time.
Sis, appreciate you for stopping by. You know what I mean, and enjoy that game on Monday. Word.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but facts though. You feel me? Trae Young is still living off of that one playoff series. What, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? Was it 5 years? It was like 5 years, 4 years.
5, yeah.
Yeah, he's still eating off of that. And it also us. I agree with this because that also gives people to be like, oh, Trae Young owns New York, which he don't. Like, if you look at his record against New York, it's atrocious. We consistently put belt to ass. Consistently put belt to ass on Trae Young. You know what I mean? And he looked like a dandelion. He looked like a dandelion. all the hair gone. All the hair gone. Yeet. Yeah, but yeah, fuck Trae Young. I get what Sis saying, but it's still fuck Trae Young. Yeah. So I know this is kind of ridiculous question, but it's a fun question, and we're gonna ask it anyway. Do you look at this as a gritty win or warning sign to what's to come against better teams?
I actually have to take the latter on that one. If you look at this game, the Knicks were in firm control pretty much 3/4 of the way of the game, and then they let it slip. And I mean, we were hooting and hollering on Christmas night, on Christmas afternoon, when the Knicks came back from like an 18 or 20 point deficit and saying no lead is safe. Well, no lead is safe. That goes without saying. If you give the opposition to make a run and make a stance and fight and give them fight into this game, they're going to take it from you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the world champion Oklahoma City Thunder, or I don't care if you're Jokic and the Nuggets. I don't care if you're JB and the Knicks. If you give an NBA team life and you don't keep keep the foot on the neck and something and put them out of their misery until that final buzzer, they're gonna make the game interesting. And again, I mean, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it kindly. Atlanta, despite the fact what their record shows and despite what their current losing streak is, they're still a decent team that can do something in this Eastern Conference if given the opportunity. I'm not saying they're going to go very far. I mean, they're probably a first-round exit, if not a play-in exit. But they can, lightning can be caught in a bottle every now and then, and they can benefit from that at any given point. And, I mean, as much as I don't like Trae Young, he has enough – I think he has enough talent around him at this current juncture for him to be able to, to orchestrate something and make a run. They can. I'm not completely counting them out.
Nah, I low key agree with that. But I will foul this one under a gritty win, right? Because like you said, it's the NBA. There's a lot of talent in the NBA, even on bad teams, and sometimes shit happens. You feel me? We fell asleep at night, but I also feel like we need these kind of games to prepare for the playoffs, right? I think last year everybody was complaining about how we always was coming back to win games in the regular season, but I also think that prepared us for the playoffs for us to have so many comeback victories in the playoffs. Like it gave you, it's like practice, like it's like practice for the playoffs. Like you're going to have to face all these kind of situations, even having a lead, and then figuring out how to stem the tide or pull out a win. And I think tonight was one of those nights where we just had to figure a way how to gut out this win, even after having a big lead. You feel me? That's a big drop in emotion. Like you go from kind of looking like, all right, we're about to cruise to this game to, oh shit, we in a real game. I think on both ends of the spectrum, those games are needed. We've already had a few comeback wins so far this season. And I'm happy to see what my team could do with having a big lead and still being able to pull out the win, especially when we've taken so many wins from people. So I'm going to count this one as gritty because we could have let go the rope. The rope could have been let go. This could have been in the L column. It was very close to being in the L column, mind you. It was super close to being in the L column, but we found a way. Shout out to OG and Anobi, for coming up big in the fourth quarter, even though he didn't have his best game tonight. But he found a way, big still at the end, getting to the line, hitting all four of those clutch free throws. That's a fact, Darlene. That's a fact. OG made the clutch free throws. Oh, and while y'all at it, if y'all here, make sure y'all bless the super chat for sure. Holla at us. Subscribe, sharing is caring. You know the vibes. Press the notification bell so you don't miss none of these fire lives. All right, so
well, hold on. Show them your shirt.
Oh, you got the merch. Wow.
You got yourself some merch.
Yeah, the link is going across the bottom of the screen, and if you on the YouTube, just go straight to the channel. All the merch is right up there. So we're gonna move on to talking about the bench. With Deuce and Josh out, who do you think feel that their absence the most? Is it the starting unit or the second unit?
Well, I think that it's become the talk of the town when it comes to the Knicks. Without a doubt, Tyler Kolek has his ascension as now, without a doubt, being the backup, point guard to Jalen Brunson, and taking control of the game, taking control of the bench, and you don't lose that much. In terms of having a floor general in assists, you do lose something in scoring, obviously, because the numbers are not comparable. However, when you look at what Tyler Kolek's been able to do, and he complements JC almost perfectly. So if you were wondering when was this new and improved Knick bench that we've been talking about throughout the entire offseason, and we were concerned about, well, here it is. You haven't had Deuce McBride for about 2 or 3 weeks now. There's no telling in how long you're going to have Josh Hart out. We haven't had Landry Shamet in over a month. But Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson, they've been doing their thing. They've been supplementing what you were losing in, with those guys being out. And now, in addition to Gershon Yabusele basically losing, any kind of favor in terms of, his spot on the rotation. And now you're constantly hearing content creators with, sublime or some idea of a trade talk, and they're always throwing his name in there, well, you can't sleep on the fact that Mohamed Diawara is also getting some quality minutes and getting some rest with the starting unit. So I think it's obvious that Tyler Kolek is the one that's really benefiting from it tremendously, and he deserves all the kudos that that he's getting right now. But it's by committee, because Jordan Clarkson having 20-point games off the bench is important. Mohamed Diawara getting some quality minutes, and of course, the big anchor. We already know who he is. The best offensive rebounder in the NBA, Mitchell Robinson, coming off the bench. It's been enormous for us, and it's been contributing to all these victories that we're having.
I think, to answer the question, I think the starting lineup is going to feel that miss more, because, like you said, Tyler and Clarkson has been doing a pretty good job thus far, like keeping the bench scoring up. As much as I like Diawara, he's not Josh. You feel me? Like, he still got some time to develop into the player that he can be. But what I think Josh brings to the starting five cannot be duplicated by anybody else on the team just yet. McCullar could emulate it a little bit, because it definitely looked a little Josh Hartish out there today. But he doesn't play with the same kind of pace that Josh does. He doesn't start the break like Josh does. It's a lot of intangibles that Josh brings to the game that I guess with reps McCullar could do, but he's just not there yet. And he's not in the starting lineup. He's coming off the bench. So that's my point. Josh starts. McCullough don't. You feel me? And I think that's missed with the starting lineup, what Josh Hart brings. So if, I think, that to answer the question, that's who feels the absent the most, which is, the starting lineup. Question is, all right, so now that we know that, Tyler Kolek and Jordan Clarkson are realistically the scoring punch off the bench, what does success look for that? What does success look like for that duo? Scoring, playmaking, or simply not losing minutes?
That's a good question. Obviously, for Jordan Clarkson, it's definitively scoring, but for Tyler, it's playmaking and not losing minutes, because that is going to be the big question going forward. When Deuce does get back, when Landry Shamet does get back, when Josh Hart gets back, and we start getting into the latter months of the season, when you start getting into March, April, and May, and you're going into that playoff push and fighting for seeding, that's where it becomes an issue of, where does Tyler Kolek fit? Because Deuce is not going to get his minutes reduced. Where does Tyler Kolek get any kind of burn in that sense? Jordan Clarkson will be fine. I still see him and Deuce being, the first 1-2 punch off the bench. But Tyler Kolek is going to, he's going to have to go back to kind of scrapping and fighting for minutes again, or hoping for someone to go down so that way he can get some minutes, which is kind of sad, because I do like the very few instances where we saw Deuce and Tyler both out there at the same time. I think that Tyler is a complementary point guard piece that you can have on the court, whether you have Deuce on the floor and him running the two, or you can have Jalen Brunson on the off guard. So how will Mike Brown be able to manage that? Thankfully, it's not for us to figure out. It's for him to figure it out. So, that's the only thing I can say is that at least it's not my problem to figure out. But I hope that it doesn't result in minutes being reduced and taken away from Tyler, because he's definitely earned them over the last couple of weeks.
So, what success looked like for Clarkson and Tyler Kolek as a duo coming off the bench is, like you said, is a combination of both. With Tyler, is playmaking, getting everybody involved, making the right play, keeping his head up, and playing some defense. For Jordan Clarkson, is absolutely go out there and get buckets. You know, that's what you're here for. Your sole purpose of being here is to get buckets. So, yeah, I mean, that's what success looked like for them too. You know, is just to keep us in games and get, you know, Cat and JB some adequate rest and not lose leads or fall too far behind and just keeping pace. And I think both of them together with Tyler Kolek's playmaking and Jordan Clarkson's scoring prowess, that is something that's fairly reasonable to expect of them. But as far because you killed my next question. You started talking about people losing minutes. That was my next question. You know, great minds. You feel me? But you muted. I hear nothing you just said.
I said it's a live stream. Things happen. You know,
great minds. You know, we want to say wavelength. You see where the path this is going. You know. But yeah, I think I wouldn't listen. I think the minutes in the way that Mike Brown is coaching, the minutes to go where they need to go for that matchup, especially coming off the bench. I want, you know, when Deuce come back, yeah, Deuce is going to probably get his minutes, and you also is going to be a warming up process. So Tyler definitely is still going to get some minutes in that interim. You feel me? But also, I think if it's a night where Jordan Clarkson is looking like shit, we might see Tyler. You feel me? Like, I feel like that could be for anybody. I feel like Coach Brown, with what he's seeing from his young guys and his bench players, is like, okay, I could plug you guys in whenever. You feel me? You guys are ready. I could plug you guys in whenever. If we need something different. JB is getting bogged down. Because I like Deuce. Deuce is not the greatest ball handler. Like, he doesn't really get by his man. He doesn't really have, like, that wiggle. Like, if he has the speed advantage, obviously he's going to get past people. Tyler Kolek is considerably slower than Deuce, but still gets by his man. And I think he's a better playmaker than Deuce. If that's needed, I can see Coach being like, all right, we're going to get Tyler in there because Deuce is having an off shooting night. And we need more, you know, another pure point guard out there to help organize offense. And so,
do you think that that there's an ideal situation where if Mike Brown, I mean, he can have a combination of Tyler Kolek, Jordan Clarkson. I mean, you also had to figure in Landry Shamet eventually. And then somebody else plus Mitchell Robinson. Do you think that we can have that kind of a lineup, or do you think that he'll still stagger the starting line, you know, any one of the starters in that rotation?
I think it depends on the matchup because the lineup that you just mentioned is really small.
I noticed that. I did notice that.
The backcourt is really small, and then Landry Shamet would have to be the three. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Well, no, it would probably be Jordan because Jordan's at least 6'4", 6'5".
You're right.
6'3".
Well, Landry Shamet is 6'4". You feel me? Like,
counting his hair, maybe.
Yeah, Landry Shamet.
Counting his, you know, come on.
He's 6'4". So, but I also think defensively, Landry played. He don't play big, but he played bigger than Jordan Clarkson, if that makes sense, right? Like, I think he's more a versatile defender than Jordan Clarkson is. So if I'm putting anybody at the three out of them two, it's going to be Shamet. Like, and I think we've seen Shamet play the three a few times on this team in smaller lineups. But that is a conundrum that Coach Brown is going to have when we're back fully healthy. because it's so many people that could contribute to this team. Is it possible? Yeah. It depends on the matchup. If we need to play more up-tempo and put more shooting on the floor at times, yes, we could absolutely see a lineup like that happen, right? But I don't see it happening a lot because, like I said, that lineup is just really small. We're going to get killed on the boards for sure. Sure.
You still you still have Mitch. So, I mean, you have to still – opposition still has to figure a way how to box that, that demon out. So, I mean, how they going to do that,
Yeah. This is true. If we don't get killed on the boards, we're going to get killed in the paint because Mitch can't guard everybody. He can't guard everybody. You feel me? Whatchamacallit? I lost where I was at.
The bench?
Yeah, but I got like mad questions. And I just kind of go through the questions as I feel the vibes, but I had another one. No, that question's gone. All right. All right, so where we at? What time is it? All right. I guess we can get into this LeBron situation. I don't know. This is the end-ish part. You feel me? I don't know how much Laker games you guys watch. I watch a few. I watch a lot of basketball. And let me sum it up for you guys. The King is checked out. He is checked out. He is not the same guy. He don't have the same care anymore. He's moping around the court. He's not getting back on defense. Believe it or not, he's doing more complaining to the refs now than he's ever done. And if that's even possible, if you couldn't imagine it being possible, it's possible. He's complaining more to the refs now. He's standing on the sideline having full conversations with the opposing team while the ball's being inbounded, and JJ Redick got to call timeouts for that, right? With that being said, LeBron's, extensive, illustrious career, is it finally time for LeBron to call it quits?
Yeah.
All right. I've tried to find a reason to either like or respect or care about what LeBron James does, wants, or whatever happens. But I also have to look at it from, I have a number of friends, because when I was in the military, I was stationed in Southern California. So I had a lot of friends who were, of course, all Laker fans and, during the Kobe era. So the perception that I get from a lot of them is that they don't care for LeBron. LeBron is not their guy. He's just not. And so if you look at it from one perspective of should LeBron be traded or be out of Los Angeles, the answer should be yes. Because it is obvious that the Lakers are looking towards the future and they've already gotten their guy. His name is Luka Doncic. This is Luka's team. And if the Lakers ever hope to move forward from and seriously, seriously consider and contend for an NBA championship again, they have to remove the 40-year-old $56 million problem that they have right in front of them. And that's LeBron James. But I understand where a lot of, LeBron's contemporaries would tell you that LeBron can still score 20 in his sleep. Well, so could Carmelo Anthony. And he retired 1 or 2 years before he had to. So could Dwayne Wade. And he retired maybe a year or two too late. So could Chris Bosh. And he had to retire for other reasons. So could a number of different players throughout the NBA, in the history of the NBA, they can score 20 in their sleep. But that doesn't mean just because you could, doesn't mean that you should. And quite frankly, unless LeBron James has any intention of leaving Los Angeles, excuse me, or even switching teams to go to the Clippers or something, I don't see what what exactly he's trying to do to show that he can still do it. Dude, we get it. You can do it. But how much is this really tarnishing your own legacy? You're just hanging around. You're just going through the motions. As Tea Time just alluded to, you're just sitting there. People see you, but you're not contributing to your legacy, to your resume, to any bit of greatness. You're not contributing to the future of the Los Angeles Lakers or the league, for that matter. So what exactly are you still doing here? If he wants to maintain, at least for the most part, the second best player that ever lived, because he's never going to catch Michael Jordan in that conversation. And even if he wins the 6 rings, we still know the record. Even if he scores 50,000 points, 60,000 points, 70,000 points, we're always going to say that, well, you played for 150 years. Of course it's going to happen. I think that if he would ever wants to preserve whatever bit of legacy that he still has, he should announce that this year is his last one. And he should bow out gracefully. Especially considering that this is a contract year. Especially considering that the Lakers have already moved on away from him while he's still there. And no matter what he does, when it comes to the comparison or the discussion of the GOAT, he's never going to win that one. He's just not going to. The numbers, numbers don't lie, but people lie with numbers. And there are just some things that you can't measure. And LeBron James, unfortunately, grew up in the wrong era where social media magnifies every single thing you do. The decision was the worst thing he ever did. Going back to Cleveland after dissing Miami again, and then leaving Cleveland again to go to Los Angeles. Forcing the Lakers to draft his son. And all these other things. I think that it's about time that you've done enough. And it's time to walk away. Of course, I'm not in no position to tell anybody how to live their life or how to dictate their career. Obviously, he's a billionaire, so he's probably doing well on his own. But from a sports fan's perspective, what are we doing here? Really? Because we're not going for championships. You're just not collecting a paycheck.
Yeah. So I know exactly what he's doing, right? LeBron realized he's in a very unique position to put himself, as far as like record-wise, in a place where nobody's going to ever be able to touch him, right? Because one, nobody could come in the league at 18 years old anymore, right? So that's one advantage that he has, right? I don't know the next time we're going to see somebody come into the league and be that good and dominant off the rip like LeBron and maintain that for as long as he did. So he's here to just make sure that his name is at the top of most statistical records and category forever. Forever. Like, there's a place where like the scoring title. I mean, the most points ever. It's not something that's going to be caught. I mean, with the how popular the 3-pointer is, maybe you might get somebody who just off the rip shoots at a ridiculous clip and averages pretty much 30 points their whole entire career and play for 17 years, maybe somebody might have a chance. But other than that, like, then you got to think about the rebounding and the assists and all these other things, even though he's not going to be number one in rebound and assists, but he's still going to be very high up on these lists. And that's what it's about right now, because realistically, I'm pretty sure he knows he's not going to win another championship. You know, and it's just about, I'm here to pad stats for sure. And they're still giving me money. I don't need it, but they're going to give me 30-something a year. Why not tell you how much you make a year? It got to be like 30-something.
It's in the 50s.
Shit. I've been playing too. Yeah, I'm not retiring. They pay me. I'm a 41-year-old basketball player still making $50 million. I'm not retiring.
52.6.
Retire to go where? I just made $50 million to half-ass it. I'm not even playing hard. And I'm still getting $50 million. I'm not retiring. I'm not.
Well, it is his final year. It's his final year of his contract.
Yeah.
He exercised that last year, which is $52.6 million. I don't see the Lakers offering him $50 million again.
But I also see someone being dumb enough to give him at least 25 to 30. I see it happening. It's LeBron James. If anything, he's going to sell tickets. If anything.
Right. So then it comes to the question of, again, what are we doing here? Are you here to promote your brand, yourself, sell tickets? What are we here for if you're not here to, win championships?
That stat stats. That's it. That's what we're here for. Is the pad stats.
So then, good luck in Washington, because I'm pretty sure they'll offer you they'll trade the whole team for $6 and give you $65 million. I'm pretty sure it'll do it.
Because if you even look at, like, when LeBron talks about basketball and himself in basketball, like, he wants to be the greatest so bad and widely recognized as the greatest. You feel me? And I realized this years ago when he said that he was doing on his podcast, and he said, when I won that one in Cleveland, that made me the greatest. Like, no, motherfucker.
The greatest in Cleveland, maybe. That's it.
About it. You feel me? And but for his generation, he's the greatest. Like, this a never-ending debate, right? And what the people who support LeBron, what people who believe LeBron is the GOAT, they lean on the stats that he's padded, right? That's where they hang their hat. You feel me? Oh, he's the leading scorer all the time. I've had these arguments all the time. I think we all have, but this is where they hang their hat, and I feel. Obviously, I don't know for sure. I'm not LeBron James. I'm not close to him. I don't know him. But it just feels like stat padded. Like, because he's not playing to win. Like, he's not playing to win. If you watch the last game they played, right? He went to the hoop. He laid the ball up. There was no contact whatsoever. But he starts crying to the ref and stomping like a little baby. It was wild. I've never seen a grown man that big throw a tantrum like that. It was weird. He's stomping and yelling at the ref, and the play is going on the other end, and he's not back in the picture at all. And this is not the first time he's done this. It's been several times that you see him not even making an attempt to get back on defense. Like, he's not trying to win. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's been moved to the third option, and he doesn't like that. Because it's Luka, it's AR-15, and then it's LeBron, right? So I don't know, maybe it could be that he's not feeling, but now he's trying to use it. Oh, I'm old. I've heard him say that a few times in interview. Oh, why you didn't? Oh, yeah, I'm just getting old. Like, then retire, homie. Like, well,
My thing with LeBron is it just goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is like if you're a Laker fan, you want him just gone. Whether he retires or not, it's is inconsequential. It's a matter of you just don't want him to be a Laker anymore. For traditional Laker fans, a lot of them never wanted him here. And I've actually heard them say this. It's like this is Kobe's town. God rest his soul, and it still is, but it's slowly becoming Luka's. But I said this a long time ago. It cannot be Luka's team if LeBron's still there, because LeBron doesn't. I don't see LeBron, and this is also it's kind of justified, but in essence, you can't move on to the future if your past and your present are still here. And let's be realistic, the LeBron era in Los Angeles hasn't been that fruitful. I mean, besides the bubble championship, what and an NBA Cup, what did the LeBron era in Los Angeles really give you? But you know what? There's a disturbance again. There's that disturbance. Let's bring him in. Kev, the co-host of Knicks and Ish. What up, man?
What up? What's goody?
Hey, shit was good with you. Right now, we was talking about, is it time for LeBron to retire?
I think he should. When you watch him play, you don't see the same king anymore, the so-called king anymore. The way he plays is he doesn't have that same drive. If y'all get what I'm trying to say, like I don't think he has that same feeling for the game no more. It doesn't look like it. You know what I mean? His effort on the floor is different. It's not the same. He complains more now than ever. Sometimes the flopping is just ridiculous. And I'm glad that the refs don't give him the time of day anymore, because before it was ridiculous. He was getting away with everything. I think it's time for him to retire. I mean, when you see him and Luka, like Luka don't even seem like to be wanting to engage with him or none of that. You know what I mean? I think he's trying to get that chip, but I doubt he's ever gonna get it, to be honest with you, because you got OKC and San Antonio, and I don't think the Lakers are strong enough to deal with those teams. I hope that if he decides or anybody decides to trade, I hope we not in the mix for none of that shit, because I think his time is due. But I do think he should retire, man. I think his time has come. I think it's time to let go, bro.
Yeah. I know why Luka don't want to talk to, because Luka try to win. Luka ain't
There's probably a good chance that Luka didn't look like he was that happy to leave Dallas. So the fact that they stepped to the Lakers, he may not. Who knows if he actually even wants to be there either? And we'll come to find out in the offseason. But while he's there, this should be his team.
Yeah.
And the fact that LeBron James is still there, and LeBron James still thinks that everything has to go through him. And in a lot of, one can argue in a lot of ways it should, because he was the face of the league for, 15 to 20 years. He may have not been the most dominant person in the league, because obviously the San Antonio Spurs, the Golden State Warriors, and the Dallas Mavericks all shown you that wasn't the case. But At the same time, in a way, he kind of earned that position, but I don't see the point anymore. If you're not there to play, if you're not there to win and compete, what are we doing here other than collecting a check? And I'm sorry, I've already stressed this enough. The man's a billionaire already. It's just a matter of time till he and a couple of investment partners buy an NBA team themselves and do the same thing Michael Jordan did when he invested in the Washington Wizards and then later on the Charlotte Hornets. Hell, I'm pretty sure that LeBron James may be responsible for basketball returning to Seattle and the Sonics go back to Seattle. That actually might happen. But right now, to me, LeBron James is kind of wasting my time and wasting Laker fans' time.
And like, I watch him sometimes, and I don't think he's such a great teammate either.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there's times where his guys is thrown on the floor, just got popped, leveled, and they're on the ground, and he'll look at them and walk right by them, won't even pick them up, won't tap them, yo, you good? None of that, bro. And he's kind of weird to me. Like, he has this ego to me, and he's always been like that I never liked. He's always been a great player, but his ego to me is really what kills me.
But Kev, to your point, JJ was good. Kev, to your point, right? You could go back to when the streak of his 10 points a game streak, which is a false streak, very cherry-picked streak, right? Because if you want to keep it a buck, right, you got to go through the playoffs too. Like, how many games you consistently scored 10 or more points? That streak stopped a long time ago. Michael Jordan still have that streak. You know what I mean? You want to be honest, like, consistently. I'm talking about.
It didn't end till he got to Washington.
Yeah. So Michael Jordan still got that streak, but it's a very cherry-picked streak. But I digress from my point. That game after he made the pass to Rui and Rui hit the shot, you see him while everybody's running to Rui and cheer and jump up and down. Oh my God, you just hit a game winner. LeBron is walking on the other side of the court. Not coming over to Rui, not celebrating. He didn't start celebrating until the team came back over that way. And then he started, You know why? Because he was mad. Shit.
It's not you anymore.
I just messed up one of my records. That streak was supposed to keep going. You feel me? I wasn't supposed to end that tonight. You feel me? Like, but the point is, like, yeah, I get it. I don't think he's a great teammate either. You're a different breed when you come in the league calling yourself the king. You feel me? Off the rip. You're off the rip. I've seen a lot of people wear 23, but it was something different when he put on 23 because I felt like you really thought like you was that. You feel me? Like Mitchell Robinson wear 23, but we know he don't think he's 23. There's a few people that wore 23, but they know they not 23. But when he won 23, it's like, yo, you really think you that? Or you better than him? I even respect what Kobe did. Went to 24. I'm one better. I respect that more than you putting on that man actual number. You feel me?
But they had a relationship at least, and like I believe Kobe actually talked to Mike and said, like, I'm gonna do this.
Kobe always say like Mike was like a big brother to him.
Exactly. So they had that relationship.
Who you think taught him the moves?
I always say, right, because they always had all these players. Oh, this baby Jordan. Remember Harold Miner? Oh, baby Jordan, baby Jordan. That. But to me, the real baby Jordan was Kobe Bryant. I mean, you just watched him play, and it was like watching a young Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And his attitude on and off the court, how he was with his teammates. Like, to me, I was like, yo, this guy is like, and then he won the 5 championships. So
Well,
it's like, yo, all he needed was that one chip, you
Well,
know,
Needed one more.
could have had an argument of who was the best,
yeah.
you know, because he did it with all kind of players.
Yeah, I think, but I will say this, right? Because I don't think LeBron is going to retire this year. I think he's going to play another year. I think he's going to make a big to-do about his retirement.
I think so too.
Whether it's with the Lakers or somebody else, right? A team is going to pay to have that farewell to.
Farewell.
Wow.
Farewell.
Jeez Louise. Why was that so difficult? Yeah, somebody's going to pay to have that. You feel me? They're going to pay good money because you know how much those tickets going to be all season. You know how much a home game tickets going to be all season.
$2 a piece.
All season.
All season.
They're going to make the
Across the country.
So, because we were just talking about, think about guys said nobody's going to pay him $50 million a year to be on their team after this year because his contract is up. I don't know. If he says, hey, I'm coming here to retire, somebody might. Because they know I'm selling these tickets for what it costs to buy a house in New York.
Maybe he goes back to Cleveland.
I was gonna say that.
Maybe he goes to Cleveland.
These tickets.
I said to say I think the same thing because that's where he came from. That's where he's from, you know. And why not try to go? They already have a team in place, you know, a pretty good one. If you ask me, I think they still got some good pieces, even though we be trashing them.
I just gotta look at their salary situation.
Right.
That's the issue.
Right.
They ain't got it. But I don't know, because they're actually in a place where like they still feel like they are contenders.
Right.
Like I don't know if they want to mess up their dynamic and bringing LeBron back. You feel me?
They'll just get the number one pick after that again. Just you know, it's
That's the way it works. That's the way it works for them. You feel me? No matter what happens, they just get the number one pick and they're back again. But anyway, yeah. But I don't know where he would go. Maybe back to Miami. I don't know. You feel me?
That's another thing. Like maybe he'll hash it out with Pat Riley because I know him and Pat Riley had like a beef or whatever, a so-called beef.
But all I know is each ticket gonna cost a brick.
or you might see a 50 Cent documentary.
Well,
he said LeBron is next. It's made about basketball.
But yeah, you know,
LeBron and freak offs. Oh shit, man.
I definitely think, you know, at what he's about to be 42. It's time. It's time to hang up the ball kicks, man.
You never know. He might try to go to the Warriors. You know, him and Steph been planning to play. You know, they've been wanting to team up for years. You know what I'm saying? They've been wanting to team up. I mean, I know they've teamed up in USA basketball, but they actually really wanted to team up. So you never know. They might try to like work something out where he go to Golden State and maybe do a farewell with Steph and try to get that chip.
Yo, you know what? That actually kind of makes sense because he's still in California. It's Southern California, but
right,
it's less like for him to go back home, like because they live in LA, right? Like they've had a house out there even when he was in Cleveland. That was still considered like home to them. Yeah, that actually makes sense. You don't really have to uproot your other kids because you want to play in a different city. Your kids could stay in LA, go through their normal routines.
They also don't have the cap space either.
Well, yeah, who up there that's taking up big money?
For the Warriors?
Yeah.
Well, obviously Steph is up there.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, he's out of there. Jimmy Butler.
I think Jimmy's out of there after next year.
So Steph. So wait. So Steph is on the hook for 62. Jimmy Butler is still on the hook for 56. Draymond Green, there's a player option for $27 million. Jonathan Kuminga is for 24, and then it's like after that, it's pretty much chump change. Moses Moody makes 12.5. Buddy Hield makes 9.6. But really, you're talking about Steph Curry making 62 and Jimmy Butler making 56, and he becomes extension eligible. What they do with that is, be that as they, what they want. But and Draymond Green has $27 million player option, so it depends on what they want to do with that.
Jimmy Butler is where the money at for LeBron. That's
True.
where the money.
Yeah, that's true.
Jimmy Butler out of there, we might see LeBron in the Bay, and that's gonna be crazy. Those tickets are going to cost a brick as well, even if he don't decide to retire. Those tickets are already expensive. Them tickets might double for sure. LeBron and Steph on the same team, even if they're not all that good, people are still going to all those games. All those games. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, unless y'all got anything else, we can pack this up.
Nah, I think that trashing LeBron, America's favorite pastime. Then we're done with that. The Knicks took care of business tonight, so I'm pretty much okay with that. I'll be sleeping, peacefully tonight. I don't know about you, but
that attack woke me up, man. I'm up now. I was sleepy before. But that shit got my blood pumping and my adrenaline going. I'm up.
It happens.
Well,
Kev, you still with us? Nope.
Nope.
He just went.
Whoa. All right, so boom. Shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. You know what I mean? If you didn't do so already, make sure you hit that like button. Sharing is caring. You know what I mean? Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all. Make sure you visit the Shopify link going across the screen right now. And if you on YouTube, just go to our YouTube page and the shop is right there. You got cop some merch right from YouTube. You feel me? We will see y'all
Monday night.
Monday night after we play. Who we play?
The New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh yeah, the Pelicans. We were just talking to sis about that, and I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. After we pack up the Pelicans, and keep things rolling how they've been rolling, we be right here doing what we do. We appreciate all y'all. See y'all. You gotta do it. I'll do it. Don't worry. You don't like to do it. I'll do it. Hit the outro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they can put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to Reset. Fuck LeBron. Fuck everybody on LeBron. When we see you in the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Good.